In this video, I'd like to share some of my experience taking the trip to the Partnachklamm Gorge, or in short, Partnach Gorge. This gorge is located in southern Bavaria in the small mountain town of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. I hope I said that right. I think I butchered that. To get to the gorge, firstly, you have to arrive at the 1939 Winter Olympic Stadium, and there is a huge parking lot there. Just as a caution or warning, this parking lot fills up pretty quick, so if you're driving, it might take you some time to find parking. Once you find a parking, you can make your way up to the stadium, the arena, and you walk through onto the other side of the arena. Once you've exited the arena, keep going straight, and you'll meet a fork in the road or a T in the road. You bear to the left and keep going straight on this paved road all the way to the gorge. It takes about 25 to 30 minutes hike to the gorge from this area, depending on your pace in walking. I would say it's a fairly flat terrain to walk on. In some places, they're a little inclined, but nothing too difficult. I think an 8-year-old can do it. The total round trip for me lasted about 3 hours. Once you're on this road here, you keep walking straight, avoid making any right turns. And even though there may be sign that no motor vehicle or motorcycle is allowed on this path, there is, however, cars and motorcycle traveling through this area, albeit a few. It does not seem like they obey the speed limit either. Be on the lookout for those. We took this hike on a very hot summer day. I would advise to hydrate a lot. There are a few bars slash restaurant in the area. On the way there, you could stop and get ice cream or snacks or beer. You can see the religious signs are fairly common in this area. For full disclosure, this is my first time this gorge, and hopefully I can share some insight. So far the walk here is pretty easy. You know you are getting closer once you are next to the Partnach River and the rapids are moving pretty fast. There are other options of getting here other than hiking. There is a horse and carriage that you could take up to a certain point, and that should cut out some of the distance walking. And you can also take a cable car. There is a restaurant somewhere up past the Partnach Gorge, and you can track down from there and walk back down through the Partnach Gorge, providing you have a ticket. Coming up here on the left, you can see the stairs. These stairs lead to an overhead bridge over the Partnach Gorge, where it's a pretty good viewpoint. Here you can purchase your tickets. Advice I have is that you keep those tickets with you and don't throw them away once you use them to get through the gate. If you are going to come back through the gorge, you will need those tickets. As we start walking through the gorge, you can see it gets pretty dark in some areas. You can feel the temperature drop also once you're in the darkened area, or even when you're walking through the gorge, so it's kind of cool and nice on a hot summer day. I don't know, but something about the sound of the water here, something about the sound of water running always make me relaxed. I love the sound of the water. Smell of freshness, fresh water, fresh air. There is the bridge in the background that I was referring to. Here is our first waterfall. It's not much water, but it's awesome. I guess it's in the summertime and it's less water. Still beautiful, still amazing. One thing to consider is getting here a bit early. It's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon local time here, and I'm gonna tell you it's pretty crowded. It's a single file movement throughout the gorge in most places. I would highly recommend you walk with a flashlight as some place gets really dark and the space are very limited, so in some areas I had to feel my way through and use my cell phone flashlight to light up the way. This is just amazing. I've seen people fill up their water bottles with the water from here. As for me, I just put some on my head and it's very refreshing. Cold, refreshing. So far, I can tell you the camera does not do justice. This place is beautiful. I would say if you are in this area, I would highly recommend this is one of the things to do and places to see. Wow, this is beautiful. I personally would recommend you give yourself enough time to do this. We kind of rushed this through as we had another appointment later that day. However, I wish we had a little more time and walked this through a little slower. It's breathtaking. The scenery is amazing. And again, I'm gonna stress, the pictures or the camera does not do this place justice. It's quite a sight to see. And here, I think coming through here, you can utilize all of your senses. There are some areas when it's crowded that it gets bottlenecked and basically come to a halt. And then there are some areas that you really have to squeeze yourself through the oncoming traffic to get by. Then there are areas like this, dark and low. The head ceiling space, if you're a very tall person, you will have to probably keep a hand over your head. Look at this. This is amazing. Here we are at the second waterfalls. Not much water again, but very pretty at the same time. here you can see there's another artifact, religious artifact, on the rocks, opposite side. These are some really breathtaking views. Just listen to this. Love the sound. I think we're almost at the end, or close to the end of the gorge. Amazing. Just beautiful. Yep, here we are at the end. And remember to keep those tickets to get back in if you are going to walk back through the gorge to get to the parking lot. So from here you can use this trail, and I believe there is a steep slope to climb up, to hike up, and there's a restaurant on the top there. From there you can take a cable car down back to the parking lot area, or you can just hike back down. Here on the banks, there's lots of families just enjoying the hot summer day, cooling off with the water. Hey, I'm gonna try to do that too, even for a small period of time. I hope water bridge in the background there. Not sure how you get across that one. I can tell you the water is pretty cold. But at the same time, very refreshing. I hope I was able to share some insight of my experience and maybe help your experience go a little smoother. One thing I must stress is arrive early if you want to avoid the crowds and the parking. Even though there is a huge parking lot for this area, it is very difficult to find parking when you arrive late. As in my case. Thank you for watching. See you next time.